Fly we're going to tie today is Lester the Lobster. Had somebody want me to do a video of this fly. I don't ever fish it. The odd time, I guess. I've got a few fish on it. I fish it for salmon more than trout for sure. We're going to tie this on a Firehole 811 size 8. And thread I'm using is white A-dot uni. Orange probably be better, but I don't think I have any. So first thing, get our thread started. Right to the back of the shank. All right, first thing we're gonna need some orange bucktail. I think maybe the original was done with polar bear. It's based off of West Coast steelhead pattern. I can't remember the name, but pretty sure it uses polar bear, but I don't have any orange, so we're just gonna use bucktail. That's what I use usually when I tie this fly anyway. And I'm not big on stacking, I'm just gonna even it up the best you can. We can pull out any stragglers after. So probably about 1.5 times the length of the hook shank. Snip that off. Pinch it on the top of the hook. Try and keep it from spinning around the shank. Some tight wraps. We'll trim that back a little bit. Bring a wrap up under the bucktail, one more over, and that's probably okay. I'm not too concerned with how pretty this is. Just want it to work. Next, we're going to tie in some orange crystal flash. I really don't think the color matters. Just matches, and I had it, so that's what we're going to use. Do two strands on each side. 2 on that side, and 2 on that side. A few wraps. Trim it. I like it just a little shorter, probably, than the bucktail. Work. Okay, now we are going to tie in some flaggers tape. I just have this huge chunk. You get it in the small, like 3/4 inch wide rolls too. Anyway, I just cut it into strips. Put a little point in the end for the tie-in. Try and get that on top of the hook. That straight back so you guys can see. Okay. Now that's tied in. Usually, the next step would be to tie in some plastic dumbbell eyes or a piece of mono, burn both ends, but I can't find any dumbbell eyes and it's pouring rain, so I'm not going outside to get any. So we're going to tie this one without them. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to build up a little bit of a head. This is orange seal's fur dubbing. Any orange dubbing will work. I use Hare's Ear the Odd Time orange, but probably seal's fur more than anything else. It's more iridescent. I'm just going to kind of build up a ball for a head. A little more. It's a little hard to build up the bulk without having the mono eyes in there for added bulk. Okay, now I'm going to wrap this over. Try not to fold it. Pinch that in place. Fold that back. Another few wraps, maybe some wax. This is great wax. I got it from Stephen Nye, who he said, I think he got it from Jill O'Brien. It's fantastic stuff. I'm almost out. I'm going to have to figure out how to make it. All right. Next thing we're going to need is some gold wire for the rib. And I like tying it in on the far side. That's just 100% personal preference thing. Tie that in. Like I say, I'm usually fairly finicky, but for flies I'm going to fish, not so much. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to tie in, this is in Chinese cock cape. Just take a small hackle feather, strip away the garbage on the inside, and we're going to tie that in the same spot. Now we're going to dub the body. Some more orange seal's fur. I'll just try some wax this time. Seal's fur, if you haven't used it before, can be a little bit of a pain to dub. It's like everything though, you work with it quite a bit and you get better. Practice. Same old thing. You take about 1/10 of what you think you'll need. There'll be lots. Right. Pretty good. Sometimes it helps if you hold the bottom end just to keep it from spinning around. Yeah, I'm getting a cramp in my fingers just from doing that. It's not a real fun thing to do with seal's fur. Okay, I'll rip that excess off. Now, I'm going to take this hackle, wind it towards the back, and I'm not too concerned about folding it or doubling it or palmering it or anything. Grab some Hackle Pliers, which I just kind of started using. I just use my fingers, but on salmon flies, sometimes it makes it a little easier. So I started using them for trout. This hackle's probably, looking at it now, a little big, but alright, we're just going to use fingers. Catch the hackle. Rip that off. Just get that hackle a little squeeze. Now we're going to tie in the body shell back. I like to kind of give this a little bit of a crank. Now trim this. And I never worry too much about stuff coming out of the back of these. I kind of think kind of adds to the fly. Now, just to give it a little more strength, wrap this wire back through. Helicopter that wire off. And whip finish. That's pretty well it. Give it some a bit of head cement. It's a little Brian Freeman trick. The toothpick in the cap. I think he actually put this one in here probably 5 years ago. I just keep moving caps to new bottles. Anyway, that's it. Lester the Lobster. Great sea trout and Atlantic salmon fly.